I think. Yes. You sound like my year and a half year old. Every time we take a sip of water, he goes.
This year like this. I'm digging the shirt, the Lake Tippy shirt.
Yes, my cousin designed this.
It's so fun.
It's like our, if you see on the cameras here.
Yeah.
Is that for your family thing?
Yeah, my grandpa had a cottage up at Lake Tippy, and
It's awesome.
I think my dad inherited it. Dad and my uncle. Oh well, yeah.
Maybe one day you'll inherit it.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Welcome back to the Okayest Cook. I'm the host, Chris Whonsetler, and today I'm joined by Corey and Andy. Missing Colton again, so no
R.I.P.
No rankings.
He's not dead.
He's still alive. He's just a little stressed out from quitting his job, we think.
Yeah.
But
Welcome to being your own business owner.
Yes, the slave to yourself that you can't fire.
Instead of having one boss, now you have lots of them. They're called clients.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, no rankings today, unfortunately. But Colton will be back soon, and we'll start ranking. But today, again, we're going to take a nod to Upduck once again, and we're going to do a little Sky Blast question.
Let's do it.
So today's question is, would you guys prefer all of your food be way too salty or way too sweet when you're cooking?
Sweet.
And I would say this is food that you're just eating. Like anybody's going to cook it, and like to you,
No matter
you
what.
alone.
Always a sweet.
If I cook you food, it's going to be awesome for me, but for you, it's going
A
to
little
taste
sweet.
way too salty or way too sweet.
I gotta go sweet.
Gotta go sweet too.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But
interesting.
here's the thing, like I know for a fact that both Krista and Austin would probably say salty because they like salt.
I will say, like, food that's way too salty is like super gross.
It's so gross.
But
Yeah.
what's so crazy? It's like this balance.
I feel like you could tolerate sweet a lot better, even
Right.
on like a savory steak meal. But if everything is sweet, like,
Yeah.
oh, that'd get old.
No, I think you
would.
see, but
Sweet
I'm
corn.
but that's the thing. I'm a sweet.
corn, dude.
I'm a
Right?
sweets.
Oh, it's
person.
coming soon.
I'm a sweets person.
Yeah, you are.
I
So.
am too.
All right, I'll accept
That's
it.
a problem.
I'll put some chocolate on my steak.
I'll accept it. Well, hey, that's a good segue because today we're talking about desserts.
Desserts. So of course it's sweet.
sweet. Before then, what'd you guys eat?
So I'm gonna go not sweet because I bought this one just to counteract the dessert situation here. But I had one of my faves the other day, and I was super. Actually, when I was eating, I was like, "This is what I'm gonna talk about on the podcast." So I was like thinking, and I'm starting to think
Changing
about
your
like
diet
podcasts
for the podcast.
Well, this was happening regardless of the podcast, but this is a so it's lemongrass soup. It's called tom yum soup. It's a Thai dish. I got it from there's a local cocktail and Thai place. It's probably I say probably it is hands down the best Thai food in Indiana. I will fight you if you think it's wrong. I promise you you are wrong.
What's it called again?
Bodhi. It's down off of Mass Ave.
I've heard of this place, but I've never been.
Guys, listen. No, if you're a pad Thai person, a drunken noodles person, if like there's stuff there that's just not even on the menu, you can just like, hey, what's going on back there? And then they're like, oh, we're doing this broth thing right now, and it's every time it's so good. It's where I've gone to my birthday 2 years in a row.
Nice.
So this place is
Bodhi's.
awesome, and Bodhi does
get
a amazing
Owner
cocktails.
/ chef.
It's an owner. It's a family. It's a lady and I think it's a single lady or maybe a family, like a couple that own it. But they made these amazing cocktails as well. So like when I was sitting there waiting for my carryout, like an adult that I am, I went to the bar and I said, "I'm here waiting for my food. I'm 15 minutes early. I like whiskey. Make me something that's good." He's like, "I got you." And I don't even know what this man made, but it was so good. So I got my pad thai. The reason why we like Bodhi is that it's great. It's the portions are out of control, so it's great leftovers. So anytime you get Bodhi, you'll always have like a couple of meals out of it.
That's the way to go.
So it's a great place to go with friends because you can just get a couple of things and share and get a little bit of everything.
Sweet.
But the tom yum soup there, it's the lemongrass soup. I don't know.
Tom Yum.
Yeah.
Another podcast was talking about Tom Yum. That was the MSG talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's probably loaded with it.
Probably loaded, but it's so good. But I'll tell you what, this stuff is just, it's so good. And they make it hot, and they make it not hot. You can get however you want. But it's like the best parts of chicken noodle soup as far as like how you feel after you have like that type of a meal. Nice. But it's like the Thai and the lemon and the grass, whatever lemongrass soup is.
I'll have to check it out because we love Thai, but we go to Thai Thai orchid.
Brother,
And
this
Castle.
is
Also a solid one.
You've said that before on this podcast, and I'm like, I want to watch. I want to watch you eat Bodhi because I
Well,
want to
let's
watch
go.
your brain explode.
Let's
It's
go.
so good. We'll have to go.
Yes, let's
We'll have to go.
Because I only get the pad Thai at
yeah.
Thai orchid.
And this is so amazing. Like their pad Thai is amazing. The other thing too, they make Thai fried rice, which is just like like chicken fried rice, but it's again we like a friend of ours that goes there. That's a couple that go there. They'll order it at the end of the meal and take it home to go.
Yeah,
like
it is.
they'll have a date night and then
Yes.
order that to go.
That's awesome.
I'm
so
all
good.
about that.
So
Yeah.
Corey.
lemongrass soup.
I did steaks with fresh green beans from the garden.
Yes.
And corn. I think I actually sent you guys a picture
Yeah.
of that. And then Addie, my 10-year-old, she made a very what'd she call it? A very berry crisp, and it was phenomenal. I wasn't in there when she was
Yes.
making it. I didn't know she was the one making it. So when we had it, I was like, Addie made this? Dude, it was amazing.
That's incredible.
Nice. That's
With
awesome.
a little scoop of ice cream.
Mhm.
By the way, since we're on that,
Mm-hmm.
don't ever offer me a cobbler or a crisp
Oh,
without
without
ice
ice
cream.
Heck no.
I will
With or without?
Without.
Oh yeah.
Like it
Okay.
better
That's what I
have.
thought.
You better have some ice cream in your freezer.
There's something
if
about
you're
like the
gonna-
cold temperature hitting the warm temperature, and I don't
Mhm.
know what it is, but man,
When the crisp kind of soaks up the ice cream a little
Yes.
bit, and gets a little
Mhm.
soggy in like all the best ways.
Well, even like if you're doing warm brownies,
Yeah.
it's gotta have a scoop of ice cream.
Heck
And
yeah.
listen, I know I can't have dairy, but there's you better have.
But I'm
me
no
some,
quitter.
Well,
You power through.
I will tell. Like there are
Yeah,
some
dude.
buyers has some incredible oat milk vanilla.
There
It
it
is
is.
very good. So
Yeah, there's
Sick,
some good.
yeah.
There's some good alternatives out there. I say it's a good alternative.
alternative.
It's not
Yeah,
ice cream.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same, but it's yes. So I've got a
What do you
couple, honestly, and they're both related to the episode.
Okay.
We had a neighborhood barbecue the other day, and I made homemade ice cream.
Nice.
Just knocked it out of the park. So good.
Awesome.
I do like the custardy type where you cook it on the stove
Oh,
and
fun.
then freeze it. So like we'll get into that here later
Yeah,
on.
I've
in the
never
episode.
dabbled in this.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
heard of people make
So
it. So
good.
good. So
I've made
so good.
snow ice cream before in the winter.
We used to do that a lot too.
Yeah.
Let's dip into that later. But when you said that crisp, it like jogged my memory somehow. Like I wasn't thinking about it, but my wife made this dynamite peach cobbler with our
With your peaches?
peaches.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Andy had the cocktail last week, and dude, we made this peach. My wife made the peach cobbler. I have nothing to do with it. I just ate all of it. But dude, it was like the perfect like consistency, like kind of doughy, kind of crunchy on the top, but just jam packed full of like the best like peaches at their prime, like so stinking good.
We've got about 10 left, and Jess is going to do a brown sugar candied baked peaches.
So I
Nice.
froze all mine, every one of them.
Oh.
I
All of
actually
mine are
take that back.
frozen
I
by
ate
now, yeah.
like 4 of them,
Mm-hmm.
but the rest of them I froze flat, like kind of like you told me what to do, and so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm just like I've got ideas, I
Yes.
got options.
It's endless.
I want to make. We talked
So
about.
many
I
options.
hit you up about hitting some sort of like jam or
yeah.
preserve
Yeah,
of some sort.
absolutely.
But I'm like that's a lot of it. There's a lot of peaches there.
Yeah, you can dial it back a little bit. And
Maybe do like I want to do like
Like a
halves.
small little can of it,
Mhm.
small little jar.
Wouldn't be too bad.
I've eaten probably 2 or 3 of them a day.
dude, they're so good.
They're
Just
so
straight.
amazing.
I had to eat. I was having to
Yes.
eat mine over the sink. It's like a mess, but they're so good.
Yeah.
Well, so Jess taught me how to separate it with one little pull.
He's got to commit.
It's a peach. My toddler could separate them.
Well, listen, I normally just grab them and just
That's how I
start
eat 'em.
going. And
Oh
town.
yeah.
So my kids were making jokes about stuff the other day that kids do. I'm going to leave it at that because we're all immature. And so we split those bad boys open, and I took the pit out. I said, "Hey kids, watch this." Gone. And they're like, "Daddy ate that in 2 bites." I'm like, "That's how man does it." They're like, and I was like, "Look, there's no juices all over my hands either.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
good."
There you go.
Made
Pro
no
move.
mess. No mess made.
Yes. Well, yeah. Let's dive into some desserts.
Well, we're on fruit, and I feel like your first question here.
yeah, we
is
can,
kind of
we
it,
can stick
right?
with fruit. Yeah. So
This could be a 3 episode.
Oh yeah.
This is a
dangerous.
very broad topic that we're launching into here, and
Yeah.
like most of our topics, we're just gonna like skate around and just we're gonna just get
See
little
where it goes.
nibbles. We're gonna nibble here,
Yeah.
nibble there. Talk about our favorites most likely, and then I guess some. Are there controversies with desserts?
I think there's a lot of preference. So here's the thing: like when I think about dessert, I have a buddy that comes to mind this guy is always eating candy. Like he just loves it. So it's my buddy Mike. It's the guy that I do all the CrossFit stuff with, and like even like at CrossFit, he's always eating gummy bears the entire time. Like it's a good way to get your sugars and your glucose back up. But he likes the gummy bear type of thing, but doesn't like chocolate. And I'm the other way. I'm like chocolate peanut butter is like that is the mecca right there. I love gummy bears. Don't get me wrong. Albanese. Love you, Indiana favorite.
If you had to pick,
but if I had to pick, like pick, like one's, I think I'm with one's dying, one's what you have for the rest of your life.
Chocolate.
Yeah,
all day.
So that would be
well, here's a question to start us off with: does dessert have to be sweet? Can you have a savory dessert?
No.
I think it has to have.
I think it's a snack at that point if it's savory.
Yeah,
like
it's just not classified as dessert.
Like your smoked.
I'm trying to think of like an example.
I don't necessarily have an example. I guess, but
I can defend my answer of why it has to be sweet. So my defense.
I don't think you have to defend it. It's just
I'm just saying, like I'm going to
defend it. Yeah,
defense. Here we go. Because usually your meal is going to be some form of either savory, spicy, like filling, like something like that. Like
creamy.
It's creamy. It's like, but it's that like the. Very rarely are you eating like a fully sweet dish.
Yeah.
Even if it is, sometimes it's like sweet with a heat that's in it. So what I think I like about the especially if you have something that's spicy at the end, that sweet treat at the end just helps like calm your mouth back down, like reset the palate.
Just balances out, hitting all the taste buds.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
And then there's something about hitting all that you're just like, it's good.
Respect that. Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it has to be sweet. Otherwise, it's like it's not a dessert. You're just continuing your meal.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess on Instagram I saw this post, and I should have saved it. Classic Chris here. But this guy was making I guess we'll call it just like a Mediterranean cake. And it was a savory cake, and he basically took pita instead of like a cake. What do the Brits call it? Sponge.
It's like a sponge cake.
Sponge cake.
So he used pita, and then hummus was like the icing, and he layered some chicken in there too. So it was like pita hummus chicken,
like
pita hummus chicken, and like he frosted it with this hummus. And
that's not a dessert. I mean, like it sounds amazing.
Now, he did not classify it as a dessert.
It does,
it was a cake though.
Yeah,
and he said like it ate like a cake, it looked like a cake. And I'm like, I don't know if like my brain can't comprehend that.
It feels
if I have this thing that looks like a cake,
that's like mincemeat pie.
Yeah,
it's not a pie.
It's not pie.
I hate it. I hate what you just said.
It's a weird combination, like mixing, like you take the savory thing and you like make it look like a dessert, and like it just messes with my head too much.
This goes into like the idea, like if you're trying to go in the framework of like healthy, like how do you make a dessert healthy? Like this is where fruits are great. Like fruit is sweet. Fruit is a great way to like
good kind of sugar. Yeah,
it's super easy to take some fresh strawberries, fresh blueberries. Even if you do a little dollop of like whipped cream and you just pop those in there and just roll them around in that. Yeah. That gives you like the hit of it being super sweet without it being like overindulged in a bunch of unnatural sugars.
It's not corn syrup.
It's not corn syrup. Yeah. So especially if you make your own like whipped cream, which so it can be a bit of a workout sometimes unless you have a mixer. But it is a great way to doll up, or even like going back to your like sponge cake thing. Yeah. It's a healthier version of a lighter, fluffier cake. It's got less sweet to it. Throw some strawberries on it, just a little dollop of that whipped cream, and man, like you got yourself a pretty good. You get the hit of the sweet without having to go full bore into it. But
for sure.
But there's always something to be said about like just something that's so like one of my favorite things is like a slice of peanut butter pie that's like so rich that it's like hard to get through one slice.
Yes.
Like, that's where it's at.
Dude, Wix, local pie company, has a dynamite peanut butter pie.
I love peanut butter pie.
So good.
I make my mom make me one every year for not only for my birthday, but also Thanksgiving. And for those of you who know that's my birthday's within 7 days of Thanksgiving. So
2 pies back to back.
2 pies back to back, baby.
Mine's triple layered German chocolate cake.
That's also
dude. My dad's a huge German chocolate fan.
So brother-in-law Frank, which we talk about a lot, his wife Katie is really into carrot cake, and I was like, oh, I don't like carrot cake, but the carrot cake, I now I like it. Like now it's like a go-to thing.
I can tolerate it, but it's very low on my list.
But it's another example of like a less than. It's not a superly sweet.
Yeah, and it's on the healthier side.
Still cake.
Still cake. But I would say there is a massive difference between going and get a store-bought carrot cake and
I agree, yeah.
homemade carrot
I'd
cake. I
agree,
mean,
yeah.
that's with anything. But I think carrot cake specifically, you can't touch a homemade
There's a couple
carrot
places
cake.
locally that make,
That's
that
like
make
you
it in
can't-
house though.
That's like you can't touch a homemade pumpkin pie.
Yeah, see, I'm more into the pie realm. Like,
You're a pie
like
guy?
I said, if it's do or die, like if I had to pick one and only one,
Well, there
like,
you go.
I would throw cakes away and I'd
Cake,
go
pie, or
pies.
candy. Like cake, pie, or candy. You can only
Oh,
get one.
pie for sure.
Forever. You only get
Forever.
one.
I could throw candy away.
I
Easy.
could throw candy away. I would really struggle with the difference between cake and pie, but I'd probably have to say pie.
I'm be with Chris. I'd be with pie.
pie.
I'd be a pie guy at that scenario.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
There's
sugar
so
cream
many-
pie. Just
There's a lot you can do.
cobblers are kind of like in the pie realm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eh,
You
it's
can-
in there.
You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
mash
sure,
up a blueberry pie and call it cobbler.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, yeah, I would say that definitely it's I think that's what's so great about stuff like this, like a dessert episode, is there's so many different directions
Oh my
that
gosh,
we
yeah.
can go. You know, and like you were talking about gummies, like me and the girls made our own homemade gummies the other day.
How do you make gummies?
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Actually, I don't even want to know. Albanese. Actually, I do, but Albanese is like. Oh,
I
so
know.
good.
Listen, they're not Albanese.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing
But
is.
I will say we tried one of the hardest fruits to do. With they said pineapple, kiwi, and mango. We tried mango.
Oh, the hard ones.
Are the hardest ones because the
I love mango though.
acidic balance. In there, you have to do. There's like 3 or 4 extra steps that you have to do with those that you don't have to do with like strawberries or blueberries or blackberries or whatever. So I loved them. I thought they were
Is
fantastic.
it just a lot of gelatin?
Well, and we didn't even use gelatin. We use agar.
Okay.
Bless you. Would you say?
Agar. Do you pronounce it agar?
I don't
or
pronounce
just
that word.
agar?
I've never said that word.
It's just
I
agar.
know what you're talking
is
about,
it?
but I've never used it.
It's basically it's a plant-based gelatin.
So it's not horse.
Substantive. No. It's a it's very easy. It's fun, especially like you got little ones. Austin probably might even enjoy it if you get the right ones.
We'll throw a little. Never mind.
Yeah.
What kind of gummies are we
What
doing?
kind of
here?
gummies are we making?
Yeah.
You'd be more into those.
Well, and then like because you can add things to them, like the recipe that we used called for elderberry syrup.
I love elderberry.
Which is like great
for
for
you.
your immune system.
Yeah.
So like my kids are eating gummies, which they love in whatever shapes. I bought like a 12-pack of shapes.
Nice.
How big are they? Like we're talking like.
No, we got the little ones, but there are some of the larger ones out there. And obviously, like with me making soaps, like I've got all kinds of fun ones. Like I've got these massive pumpkin ones. I was like, oh,
Nice.
can we clean these out good enough so they don't taste soapy? But we have these awesome pumpkin ones. They'd be
Yes.
cool and they'd be this big.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, you could add whatever you want to them. Your juices. One recipe called for like instead of water was just lemon juice, or you could
have a
add.
tart?
I think the tartness is what helps kind of bind everything together. That lemon juice, but you could use like orange juice, pineapple juice or whatever
Nice.
to kind of bring all that healthiness in there. So they're eating something they love, and it's way better for them than the garbage. I love Albanese.
You know what's in it.
You know
I think
what's
is the
in it.
factor.
But listen here, if Harborough wants to get in a war, the team from Indiana is coming.
Yes.
Because
They
I'll
will
tell you,
lose.
they will lose that battle.
But are you do you like the what is it
If you're gonna ruin something,
the
for me, don't
exotic?
do
No,
it.
no, no. The exotic fruits.
So we are
like durian. What are you talking about here?
No, so like Albanese has an exotic fruits one.
I like I don't discriminate honestly when it comes to the gummies.
I love them. I love them all.
But I go
the
sour's
exotic
my
fruits are-
my go-to. The
I've
sour
not
side.
I've actually not had
Oh,
a sour
dude.
one yet.
Game changer.
Solid, yes.
So good.
Sick. Well, let's shift gears here to chocolate real quick. I'm holding onto these cards and I want to get rid of them because I'm too fidgety. So one of my clients here in Indianapolis is Sochatti.
Love them.
Super
I
cool
don't know what this
chocolate
is.
company.
Okay.
They're fantastic.
So
people.
like coffee's got all these different regions, different flavor profiles. Chocolate's the exact same way. And they started because the owner's wife had a hard time finding chocolate that she could eat. A lot of dietary constrictions. So basically just they made their own chocolate. And they've got 4 different regions, Honduras, Peru, Tanzania, and Trinidad. And they've all like, if you open these up and taste them if you want to, but they're all like different flavor profiles.
Is this chocolate?
Yeah, it's a bar of chocolate. And
you've been holding down on chocolate bars,
bro.
Yeah, dude. Well, it's not like a Hershey's chocolate bar, so it's a little bit
bitter.
No, it's got all the sweetness.
It's a pure.
Open it up. Open it up. Try.
Let's find out.
Yeah, it's more.
What did you do, Trinidad?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do.
Share them here a little bit. I've got a little machine over here in the back. You can kind of see it on the video, but it's like it's a warmer essentially. So it's got little bags of chocolate in there. So it's basically just chocolate on tap is their thing. But like what I love about them is like they're huge on these flavor profiles. And if you look at if you're on the video, you can see
where's this place?
It's down Circle City Industrial Complex.
Okay, yeah.
They've got a shop and like you can schedule a visit. But yeah, like Honduras has its own tasting notes. I forget
like
which one's which, but all I remember is the red one, Peru, kind of has like red berry like notes or like some wine notes to it. The yellow one, Trinidad, is more of like some honey vibes.
To tell Colton about the fact that we got to eat chocolate.
Yeah. And the blue one, Tanzania, is kind of like some blueberry vibes. But they don't add any flavor at all.
Can we open one of each?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, would you say the Trinidad had one?
Trinidad's kind of like a honeyish, honey vibes. Mm-hmm. And literally all they're adding, I mean, you can look at the ingredients, like it's literally just chocolate and cocoa butter. Like they're not adding these flavor profiles to get that red wine, to get that blueberry. Like it's literally just where the bean was grown, the soil, air temperatures, all the things that factor into, what makes things taste the way they taste. But dude, this chocolate is so freaking good. My wife is always like covering strawberries with it, and
we have a new problem now.
Which one do you like best?
So far, this one's good. This is real good. The blue, it's like blueberry.
Blueberry, the Tanzania.
Which one have we not opened? The red one?
This one.
Okay.
Dude, red is my favorite.
The blue so far has been my favorite.
That is phenomenal.
Well,
oh my goodness.
This is the one that he says is his favorite.
Yeah, dude, the red is money.
Yeah, man, that's so good.
Yeah, so next time you're in Indy, sorry, mouths are full of chocolate now, but I definitely encourage you guys to book a visit to Sochatti and just like sit down and like they'll run through all the flavors. And
is it like a wine tasting type of scenario?
Yeah, they do some pairings. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they do wines or foods
I'm not saying
or what,
but it's like where you go and they test it out.
Yep. You can eat the chocolate and
dude, this
they'll pair with foods and stuff.
The blue is I think I would go blue, red,
yellow.
Probably yellow as well. I like the honey.
So kind of blueberry. Yeah, red.
The red is good.
Red fruits. And dude, it's so good. I love it. They'll ship it to you too. So Sochatti.com.
Sochatti.
We'll link it in the show notes.
They're local, huh?
They are.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so mad that I don't know about this.
I've done a couple events with them. They're great people.
Dude, hot tip with their chocolate is to do homemade Reese cups. So take your muffin tin, throw in your like the muffin liner, a little bit of that melted chocolate from the machine here, and then just a your hot peanut butter would be good.
Oh, I have it in the fridge.
Yeah. So layer of chocolate, dollop of peanut butter. I got a little fancy last time I did it, so I whipped peanut butter with powdered sugar. Came out real well. And then just cover it in chocolate, throw it in the fridge. Dude, you got homemade Reese cups.
I'm kind of mad.
So good.
That this is taking
bro, this is dark chocolate, so it's great cooking.
Yeah,
chocolate.
It's so good. Yeah.
So good.
So that's my hot tip on chocolate.
You were holding out. You were like, "I'll tell you on the podcast for that." Like, I'll
tell you later. It just and honestly, I had no idea. Like, I've never thought about it before, but like, just the fact that like chocolate. I mean, it's a nut. It's a seed, kind of like coffee is. So like, I shouldn't be surprised that they have regional flavors, but like, it kind of blew my mind, especially when I tasted them. Mm-hmm. Like, I love the fact that like, the chocolate can taste different, and like pairing different types of chocolate with different types of foods.
And it doesn't even feel like
really amplifies.
I don't feel like I just did something bad to myself either.
No,
it's really it's really good for you.
What did you say the Honduras was?
What color is it?
Brown.
That's just kind of like your
chocolate
standard chocolate flavor, I suppose. Like, it doesn't really have any kind of like extra tasting notes like the red wine or the blueberries. Kind of standard. So
blue's good.
Yeah, I'd say
red's good.
I was gonna say I think
the honey's good. They're all good.
They're all good. Yeah,
they're all delicious.
So what are you guys thinking? Like, top of your head, like what would you use? Like, how would you like amplify some of these flavor profiles? Like obviously the red one on top of a strawberry is going to be dynamite.
Right.
You guys have any other instant thoughts on the top of your head here?
I mean, well, you kind of the peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, honestly, the honey one with
Get a little closer here.
Sorry, I forgot that I'm like not talking into the mic.
We're trying to eat. This is why we don't eat.
This is
on
why
the
we don't eat.
podcast.
But I'm trying not to eat in the mic. You're all welcome.
Just don't slurp.
But the hot peanut butter.
Yeah, dude.
With the even just the Honduras, but also with the honey one. The Trinidad.
Yes. Dude, Mike's Hot Honey, I'm in love with them. It's like any kind of hot, spicy honey combo. Like, I'm here for it.
Have you made your own?
No. But I feel like I could.
Or just honey that you can
Honey
mix
and
in.
peppers, but
Oh, this one,
the blueberry.
bro. I would do
Tanzania.
some chocolate covered coffee beans.
Oh, yeah.
With the blueberry one?
Yeah.
That'd be solid.
That'd be really good.
I'm a huge fan of when I'm trying to be good but still have something sweet. It's usually Albanese gummies. But if I want a chocolate fix, chocolate covered cherries.
Oh,
Just
yes.
I mean, can we?
Yes.
It's and just a handful. Do you? You don't have to go crazy with them.
Yeah.
What's that candy? It's like a Christmas quote unquote candy, but it's a chocolate ball with a cherry inside, and like all the
The juicy cherries, though, right?
it's like a juicy cherry, but I'm trying to like explain. It's like
Yeah.
it's like sugar,
They're chocolate
like a
covered
sugar
cherries.
paste,
Like a
in the middle. What's it called?
Lindendorf type of like ball thing with that cherries.
Love
inside.
those things,
Like cherry cordials.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah,
Cherry cordials.
There you go.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
So you're making
we
your
have-
own
and
chocolate covered cherries, or are you buying them?
So I buy. So I.
Russell
so
Stovers,
honestly,
baby.
I just get the ones from Fresh Time.
Mm.
They're like my favorite ones of all of them. The ones at Fresh Market are good too, but the ones at Fresh Time are awesome. But Albanese makes them too.
Yeah.
It's a candy
Yeah.
shop. So, but yeah.
Yeah,
This, I mean, the great thing about these two, like it's all dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, which is substantially better for you anyway.
How much?
Yeah.
Just,
But like I'm a huge like even like Dove dark chocolate.
holy shit! This is one serving size too. It's like that would be enough.
Done. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That would be more than enough. I could split that easily too.
Oh yeah.
I
Look
could-
at us being healthy.
Well, like,
Look at
but
us.
like I was actually going to say earlier, like I'm someone that has to have a sweet after each meal.
I'm trying
just
not to. My wife is that way,
But
I'm trying not to be that way.
I'm integrating more fruits
Yeah.
now. So like I'll get a handful
solid,
of
yeah.
blueberries, and that's my
That's a sweet
sweet
treat.
afterward.
Yeah.
This could easily like a half of this
Yeah,
could
do that.
hit that anchor.
Get that fix.
anchoring.
If you freeze your fruit too, if you that fruit frozen, it lasts a little longer.
And it gets you that crunch.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because that's
pro
I
tip.
thi- more than anything, that's what you're craving is that
Yeah.
crunch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the chips. Like when you're craving chips, you're
Yeah,
craving
dude.
the crunch.
Yeah.
And the salty goodness of awesome chips.
Yep.
Yes. Well, chips aren't dessert.
No, they're not dessert. Moving back to dessert.
Chocolate
Yes.
covered chips.
But let's
I
like.
don't know if I can do that.
So here's
Not a
another one.
fan.
And we talked about candy, pie, or cake. But I'm gonna one up you and say, okay, you guys keep pie. But what if we do? And it sounds like we killed candy. What if we introduce cookie to that mix? So like
Still going
cookies, pie, or cake.
I think I'm still going pie.
This is where I change.
Cookies.
Gotta be cookies, really.
Yeah, it has to be.
Dude, just as monster cookies are.
There's, I mean,
They're phenomenal. I'd be upset if I never had another cookie, but
oh, I could.
I'm sticking with pie.
My heart just like dropped. Like, nope,
Listen,
not a thought.
I will straight up make a blueberry cookie.
We'll find a loophole.
Find a loophole.
Yes.
this.
I do have a phenomenal chocolate chip cookie recipe, though.
Oh yeah.
And I did it once with duck fat. That turned out
Ooh.
really good. God, I love duck fat. So good.
I am.
I want to buy that big block. That big block. I sent you guys a picture of.
Of fat?
Yeah.
It's like a big block of duck fat from Joe's.
I remember this.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
I see it every single time because I eat at Joe's
Buy
almost
it.
once a week. I'll buy it and we'll bring it here.
I
Make some cookies apparently.
I just saw this recipe for super healthy protein chocolate chip cookies, and the base is fresh chickpeas. I have a friend that has tried it. They sent it to me, and it's supposedly amazing, and it's obviously
Like chickpea flour or
No,
just
no, fresh chickpeas.
like hummus?
Yeah, I mean, but it's fresh chickpeas.
with gluten-free stuff. Chickpeas make really good cookies.
Yes.
So
Interesting.
because it's a great flour. You can substitute it, and they bake. It bakes okay too. So like, it's again the reason why I think cookies have to stay in there because you can do no bake cookies. You can do. Right?
Oh, I do like a no bake.
Now you're over here eating your.
I'm not changing my mind. I'm not changing my mind, but a no bake. Oh my gosh,
I'm gonna have to try the chickpea.
dude! Some family friends we had growing up, the Lettrolls. Every Christmas they would do like this candy cookie store, and they would make just a gob, like 30 or 40 different varieties of like little cookies, little sweets, just little things, and you would go in and just buy stuff, and they would donate a bunch of the money.
That's awesome. That's cool.
That's
I forget
awesome.
where, somewhere different, but like, yeah, dude, their no bake cookies were top tier. They do like the haystacks and the oatmeal chocolate ones.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So let's talk about cooking. Are you guys big into like baking and desserts? Or, like, tell me, I
dabble.
To be very fair, like I literally like gardening. I enjoy these things, but I am not one that does.
You don't partake.
I don't do a lot of the baking stuff.
Baking to me, it's like
bread. I mean, I do that.
I don't know why people think it's intimidating.
You just have to follow the rules.
It's chemistry.
You have to follow the rules.
You follow the rules.
Follow the rules.
And you can deviate a little bit here and there when it's allowed, but like you follow that recipe to the T, it's going to turn out.
It's like when we talked about the bread.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you follow the rules exactly,
Yeah.
until it's done proofing. Once it's done proofing,
Yeah.
add whatever you want.
We might get some hate mail from that comment I just made, but it's
Bring it.
yes.
Listen,
I don't
like,
think it's super common. I don't do it a lot.
Yeah, I will say just definitely does it way
Yeah.
more than I do for sure.
Yeah, Stephanie definitely bakes more. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'd rather have where do we draw the line? What's baking? Like making a cobbler, is that baking, or are we thinking like just pies and
Well,
things?
when I asked about baking, when I say I don't do it, what I'm mainly referring to is things that are going to be outside of like it's going to be more in the bread family, if you will.
Yeah.
Like I put cakes and things like that, and like that's baking.
More of a
You
spongy
bake
type thing,
cakes.
yeah.
I don't think you bake pie. Well, I guess you kind of bake a pie, right?
You bake a pie.
Goes in the oven.
Goes in the oven, so it's technically baked.
That's where where's that line? But
I don't know.
Make your own crust or you buy one.
Yeah. Man.
well, I'm buying it for sure, but
Yeah,
making it.
My
I've made them in a
mom's-
pinch, and
my
it turned out
mom's,
okay.
Makes an apple and a cherry pie as well as the peanut butter pie that I make her make me. And she hand rolls out the crust, and it's very, very good.
My grandma made a strawberry poke cake.
It's a poke cake.
Dude, I can't even explain it to you. All I can know
Google
is
it.
just yummy
good.
goodness. It was I'm going to make myself sick saying this word because I hate it. It was the most moist cake I've ever had in my life.
Moist. Is it one of those cakes that like they like literally pour liquid into, so it's kind of like
And I mean, it's all fresh strawberries and the fresh
yeah.
strawberry juice. I mean, and covered in icing. I mean, it's basically a sponge cake. It's a strawberry sponge cake.
yeah.
Filled with fresh strawberries and fresh strawberry.
So you just triggered a memory, and I think it's why I need to stick to pies. But my grandma would do strawberry shortcake
Yeah.
all the time.
Love strawberry shortcake.
And that's, I mean, cake, it's probably in the wrong realm. It's not a pie cobbler type thing, but dude, her strawberry shortcake just
Strawberry shortcake is
takes me
such
back.
an easy, like, big group dessert too.
And it's another way. I would classify that as a healthy alternative as well.
Yeah.
Especially
I would say
little ones.
healthier, yes.
I said I would classify it as such. I'm saying it's the best.
Yes.
It's not a handful
In
of
the
fruit.
dessert world, yes, it might be
Yeah.
a little on the healthier side, we'll say. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So my wife is anti-fruit in her desserts. She's not anti-dessert, but like
But she would like take a
It's
pumpkin or
very low on her list.
Okay.
Where fruit like cobblers,
She'll take a chocolate silk
very
pie
high on my
over-
list.
over
For
like
sure.
a-
Yeah, she's definitely chocolate cookie, chocolate chip cookie, like cake, just
cookies.
icing.
I wonder if she
an
would like
inch of icing.
I wonder if she would like Jess's apple Snicker salad.
apple Snickers salad.
Oh, like the Snickers bars.
It's
I think I've had this.
It's exactly what you think. It's what it sounds like. It's apples
There's a
and
lettuce?
I think
Snickers.
the apples in it would turn her off a little bit.
There's no lettuce, and it's
said salad,
it's
so I
heavy
was
cream and
confused.
whipped cream. Like
It's good.
Oh, so
It's dangerous, but it's good.
it's like a layered
Yeah.
kind of. It's
So
in a
good.
truffle.
you gotta stop talking.
Some caramely things on top,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah.
Some more of this. Chocolate. Killing me.
yeah, but she always just leans towards anything that's not fruity. Like if we give her ice cream, or like we go to Grader's or something, and she's picking ice cream, like she's never picking black cherry. That's like
Gotcha.
always
Okay.
salted caramel. Like fruit just does
a
not
mistake was
belong
made.
in ice cream, like in her world.
See, I've changed in the last few years, and it's almost like I wonder if it's because I'm getting older. Am I,
Could be.
I'm
would you like to
getting
weigh in
older.
here? Oh wait, you're not here.
That I was always only chocolate ice creams,
Mhm.
like in different variations of whatever variation, but it's got to
Rocky
be
Road.
chocolatey.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm getting to the point where, man, I'm leaning more towards the fruity ice creams
Yeah.
that I even when
Dude,
I could have dairy.
Some black cherry ice
but
cream.
now, man, dude, if you've never had the chocolate mousse in Nashville or Bloomington,
Oh,
they
man.
got a black raspberry, and then
Ooh,
you
that
dip
sounds good.
it in chocolate.
I thought you were almost
phenomenal.
going to say Dr. Pepper. I was like, all right, I can see that. Raspberry ice cream, Dr. Pepper float. Oh, man.
I think when I think of Dr. Pepper as a dessert, I think of flaming Dr. Peppers. So that's a whole
Mm-hmm.
other conversation.
That's a different episode. Coming soon.
Different chapter in Corey's life.
Yes. Oh, man. Well, on ice cream, let's talk about this. I've honestly always been like more on the vanilla side. I can't explain it.
So Frank's that way too.
Yeah.
Like vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean.
Vanilla bean.
is what he likes, not
But
vanilla.
but is that when if you're just going, hey, I need to sit down and I need to eat a bowl of ice cream, you're choosing vanilla?
Well, it's very rare that we have vanilla here, just because my wife does all the shopping and like, she never buys
you have
vanilla.
chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have chocolate. We got the weird, crazy, moose tracks and all the crazy
Yeah.
fillings and stuff. If it's just ice cream by itself, I'd probably go like more of like a moose tracks, like peanut
Gotcha.
butter chocolate with vanilla, but it's still like that vanilla base.
Yeah.
Like having a chocolate base, it's almost just too much, too rich, I guess.
I think I'm like I said, I've gotten to that point where I think it's just too rich. So like now, like if I do go that route, it's vanilla bean with chocolate syrup, and then you mix it up or with some caramel, because then
do
I can
that.
control it.
Yeah.
I can control that chocolate.
Dude, growing up, my dad was always a fan of like, what's it called at the Dairy Queen? The peanut butter parfait or something like that. It's like vanilla ice cream with nuts and chocolate. Like he would always get that. And I'm kind of reverting to that myself. Like I see my dad like creeping into my
turning into your dad.
tendencies here. Yes. Like adding like some salty peanuts to the ice cream. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah.
Yep.
Takes it up a notch.
Yeah, no. When it comes to ice cream, I'm a Grader's person through and through.
Grader's is so good.
So I lived in Cincinnati for 3 years, and they had it there first before they were in Indy. And there was a time in my life where I was. This is not a lie. I was quite literally taking coolers of ice cream when we go back to visit Cincinnati before Grader's got here, and I would like literally bring back gallons of it.
Ice cream mule.
I was an ice cream mule.
I would like to see what a picture of you look like then.
I've got it. I've got it. I used to be a little bigger back in those days, just a little bit. But
I knew who the ice cream smuggler is.
Here's Andy muling ice cream.
Oh,
again. But I'm usually a go-to. Like I think there's nothing like I talked about this a lot when I was in Italy and previous episodes too, about like I would try to like to do something like if I go to a pizza place for the very first time, like give me your pepperoni. I want to if you, like that's the boilerplate.
Your baseline.
My baseline is that like show me your pepperoni first, or if you go to a place like a lasagna that has lasagna, like try lasagna or spaghetti meatballs or whatever. That's something like that. Like what's your go-to baseline? Mine for ice cream is cookie dough. Like what is your chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream taste like? It's just a good one to see it, like because you get a good like chunk profile. It's like a good like if you're gonna have an ice cream that has a filler in it that's like chocolate based or whatever. It's a good one to see like how many big chunks do you have versus little chunks? How big are the cookie dough balls? Are you a big like where it's like swirled in, or is it like chunked out? Like I feel like just a solid baseline of an ice cream to try. But
I don't know if I have a baseline.
I think you should get one.
Yeah. Because I love like peanut butter mixed in with stuff. I love like
I love-
pistachio
I'm
ice
saying, like-
cream. Like, oh my gosh.
So going back to Italy, like this is one thing I was excited about talking about for dessert. We got what is it called?
Gelato.
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 Like,
Yeah.
every single day, and so my
Yes.
baseline was pistachio
Yeah.
gelato.
Pistachio.
That's good.
So good.
And
Yeah.
because that's what they make there, and like so you knew if it was like a touristy crappy one, if it was like super bright colored, like that was bad.
Yeah.
You wanted
Kinda
the
like
stuff
key
that
lime.
looked like dull, like almost brown. But
Yeah.
man, I probably had some of the I had some of the best gelato I've ever had in my life, and you can't
heard
recreate it
that.
here. It's just like there's a place over off of 96th Street that's an Italian family that has made their gelato here, and it's good, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
But man, oh man, get yourself a baseline because that's how you test out new
That's fine.
places. If you try
I
somewhere
guess,
else, you know.
I guess I'm just not that picky.
Yeah, I would kind of follow along saying like I want to see what your chunky stuff is like. So
Yeah.
for me, like again, I've not been able to have dairy for a while now, but like I love Culver's
Soft
their,
serve.
their custard.
Yeah.
Their vanilla custard with Heath brownies and hot fudge.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with Heath is it's just too crunchy.
No, I
Like
love
when
it.
you get
I love
it-
the crunch.
In my opinion,
too English.
you get candy mixed in with the ice cream, like it just gets too hard. Like anytime you put M&Ms in ice cream, like they're just like little pieces of gravel that I can't chew through.
Because you're not eating it fast enough.
I guess. Well, on this topic, should we talk about making ice cream?
Yeah, 'cause I
Like,
don't know
I
how.
can go into my process there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give the full-on recipe quite yet.
Or is that the recipe
at
there?
all? It
didn't look.
could be part of it. Could be part of it, but
It's cobbler,
but no.
then. It's
Oh,
cobbler.
it should be cobbler, but no, it's not.
Oh, it's not?
It's something more basic than that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the recipe right in front of me, but super. It's just cream, whipping cream, whole milk, sugar, some vanilla. I do vanilla pods. I like to take it up a little fancy notch when I'm feeling like ritzy, because vanilla pods are expensive.
What's a vanilla pod? Like the
Just-
actual stem of the vanilla?
So it's a seed pod from an orchid, and I don't know how they make extract. I think they soak the vanilla pod in
So you're doing like from the flower,
rum
like
or
that's the-
brandy.
Okay.
Yeah, you buy them and they're really long, probably like 5-6 inches long, just real thin, almost like a green bean.
Mhm.
Picture a really slimmed down green bean that's brown. And you cut it in half long ways like a hot dog, and then like a hot dog bun, and just chuck it in the cream sugar mixture. And I do it kind of like a custard style where I'll cook it on the oven slowly. There's eggs in there too, and that's why. You could do it with just raw eggs, but that kind of turns some people off. My wife is one of those main people that's not a fan of raw eggs in your food.
Doesn't like hunting. She doesn't like rice.
But yeah, so
Come
you
on,
kind of
Steph.
like really slowly. You never bring it to a boil, but you just kind of like you cook it really low, really slow on the oven, and it gets really thick. But it's like that flavor change that happens when you cook this egg, milk, sugar, vanilla mixture, and it just
Take this away from me.
like it gets to the point where like you dip a spoon in there and it just coats the back of the spoon. It's just thick, and just the smell. You just have to smell this. I can't explain it. It's just
It sounds
rich
amazing.
and creamy, and the vanilla pods just like take it from like good to like freaking awesome.
It's awesome.
So you heat that up, cool it down in the fridge, probably for a few hours or overnight. I take the pods out and I scrape all the seeds. Those are all the little black specks in vanilla bean ice cream, like the little seeds from
Is it
the
the
orchid.
bean?
In the bean.
In
I don't think
the-
it is the bean. I don't know.
I don't know.
But
I'm not mature enough for this conversation right now.
but you chill it, and then you've got like this ice cream. It's like a metal vat that you put inside of a bigger.
Right. And you fill it with ice.
Yeah.
Right.
Fill it with ice. Old school ones you just crank.
Crank and it just
And
stirs
then,
it.
but yeah, the good fancy newer ones.
But I love
are
how
all motor.
even like the better brands of those, have still made those to look vintage.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most of them still look very vintage.
Oh yeah.
It's like you pulled this thing out. Like, how long did your grandma's grandma give this to you? I just bought it last week. Also, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, but it's so good. The tricky part is adding enough salt. So you put the ice in there, but you're supposed to like do like a couple inches of salt or a couple inches of ice, a layer of rock salt, ice, salt. If you don't put enough salt in there, the ice cream never gets cold enough and it will never set up. You put too much salt in there, it freezes too quick and it gets kind of crystally. So like that has been like a struggle.
In the actual cream, just because on the outside.
No. So that's on the. Yeah, so the ice cream is in a metal jar inside of another bucket. Picture like a 5-gallon bucket with a small metal cylinder in the middle, and the ice and salt is surrounding it, just spinning and churning away. And
you spin the ice, or do you spin the cream?
The ice cream, well, it's got like a blade, a fixed blade, and so that's
in the cream or in the
something spinning. Something is spinning inside.
But is it spinning in the cream or
in the cream? Yeah,
in the cream.
The
Yeah.
ice stays stationary. The cream is moving.
Yeah, it's just moving around
Google
the coldness.
machine.
It's moving around the coldness.
Yeah.
And so it's like almost like kind of like, have you ever been to like a rolled ice cream place?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that.
Cold Stone or whatever.
Yeah. Do they do that at Cold Stone?
Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine that going on inside a barrel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. And throw whatever toppings you want in there. But again, I just stick to vanilla.
Is it like when we
rock
talk
solid.
about, I feel like when we talked about like in the pasta episode, when you make your own pasta, or you get like, is it better than like store-bought, or do you feel like it's not as good as store-bought when you make your own?
It depends. If you're going for like some crazy flavors, like I have not mastered adding flavors like cookie dough chunks or like swirls of thick chunks of chocolate like at Graters. But if you're doing just like a standard vanilla or standard chocolate, like I think it's superior for sure.
And it's way healthier. I mean, you gotta go look at Byers.
Probably, yeah, because less corn syrup,
Yeah,
less.
go look at
less-
Byers.
there's less
Whatever.
preservatives.
No
Way less
preservatives, for sure, yeah.
preservatives. Yeah, I would say it's.
Well, like, 'cause they're making it so it sits on a shelf for 4 months, or
Yeah.
it
Right.
can. Where this is like, it's probably not going to be good after a week or so.
Yeah, a couple weeks. Yeah.
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 I mean, it never lasts that long, so you never
Yeah.
have to
It's
worry
never a
about it.
problem. Not a problem here.
Because the thing is, like those things are not very big.
Yeah.
And so you're not
Oh,
making
yeah.
a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, would you say? Like you're making a little gallon tub
Oh,
of it,
gosh.
like the little half.
Probably more than a gallon, maybe a gallon. It's hard to
gallon of
estimate.
milk. Think about the size of a gallon of milk.
Well, it's probably like
Well, with all the stuff,
I would say
the
like-
finished product is about that volume.
about a
Perhaps.
half gallon to a gallon of ice cream.
Yeah, somewhere between there, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have brought the machine out here, and I'll show you afterwards. So.
Gotcha.
Anyways, yeah, dude, that's ice cream, and I encourage you guys to make it. Like, it's awesome. I love again that cooking it. So doing the custardy version versus doing like the raw egg version. Like they're both awesome, but like cooking it just takes it up a huge notch. It's so
Just a
freaking
fun
good.
process.
Yeah.
I love looking at your notes right now.
Oh, and he's got a lot of
covered in chocolate.
like a
Fingerprints.
4-year-old over here.
Yes.
So I'm marking off what we've talked about with my chocolate.
He's
Oh,
3.
man.
He's writing in chocolate.
Yes.
Andy.
Yes. Well, let's. So you're making dessert. What is a dessert that you're making for like a gathering? Like, what kind of a dessert are you making to take and to share with other people?
Crumble cookie.
And while you're thinking about that, what dessert are you only making for yourself?
This was
Like a dessert that like you like it so much you just can never share it.
So that was something that Jess and I were sitting and trying to think through. Like, what are desserts that we just make for our family?
Yeah.
And it was weird because we were like, that's such a foreign concept to us because we share everything. Like, we're kind of the foodies of our group of our friends. Everyone's always like, when they want to try something new or they want to try a new dish or go to a new restaurant, text Corey and Jess because they probably have something, that little hole in the wall place or something. So that one was really hard, but Jess's apple crisp, it's harder to make. So it's not one that we just take to share with people just because it's one of those things that just takes a lot of prep work to do.
Yeah.
So I would say that one. And our peanut butter smoothies. You being a peanut butter guy, you love those.
Here's the thing, guys. I don't share my peanut butter pie well. And honestly, it's the one thing that, like, when it's out at Thanksgiving, I'm like, can we just put it away, please? Like, none of you guys like this. Like, just get out. Like, I've convinced myself that you do not like this. And you're only eating it because you know I'm going to be mad about how I'm going to get less later. So that's one that I don't share. I don't share it well, to be very honest. Anybody from my family is listening to this, they would 100% back this up. It's Andy's pie. That one is. The rest is for everyone else, but that one's for him.
If we ever get invited to your family Thanksgiving, I'm eating it from the center.
Don't touch my pie.
Taking a spoon
right through the center of it.
No. But we've done, so typically when we make things like dessert dishes for the masses, it'll be usually some sort of like fruit-based thing. Krista actually makes a really good, and like, to be completely honest, the cakes are store-bought from the strawberry shortcakes, but those little dish ones. But again, it's one of those things where it's super easy to do for like groups of people, and it plates really well on little tiny dessert plates. It looks really pretty. So it's one of those. And also, I feel like people don't get super like upset with themselves if they've eaten an entire one and then finish their spouses or whatever.
It's good portion control.
Yeah.
Yes. Ours would be the as you can see in the notes, I listed a lot of them because we are dessert people.
Yes.
But I've already talked about the Snickers and apple salad. That thing is just phenomenal. You're ridiculous. But Jess makes this angel food with fruit trifle. It's angel food cake layered with like.
I love angel food, but it's one of those that I never think about until it's right in front of me.
What's trifle?
Yeah. So it's essentially it's a truffle essentially,
Okay.
but it's like angel food cake with like this Cool Whip heavy cream, that she makes with fruit, and then just layered all up in a truffle thing. So it's phenomenal. And then puppy chow is one.
Okay.
Jess makes like, Rubbermaid totes of this stuff. Like we will go and fill an entire cart of Chex Mix.
And that's when you're sharing.
That's the one that we are like Christmas.
Please
stuff
give
like
it
that.
to me.
We're making everybody like the big gallon
I
bags
love
full
some
of
puppy
it.
chow.
Do you put it in the fridge or on the counter?
Counter.
Put it in the fridge. Game changer.
Okay.
Game changer.
I love puppy chow. So on the we have a group of friends we do a big houseboat trip with every year, and one of the spouses on there she's got lots of food intolerances, but she makes this bomb gluten-free, like it's all the things free puppy chow, and it is amazing. Like it's just dark chocolate based and then peanut butter. So like the peanut butter that she can have or whatever, but she makes it for herself originally, but it was actually so good. She like now makes tubs of it for us.
Jess made
so good.
This last year. Jess made me some gluten dairy free version of it.
So good.
And then the Ritz and Rolo sandwiches. Have you had those?
Yes.
I love those.
I think you skipped over funfetti dip, but that's also a really fun one.
Good. So good. That's
that
probably
like
Jess
a-
and my
good
girl's
party
favorite.
trick.
Yeah.
Good
Is
party.
that like a Dunkaroo kind of thing? Or?
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get these little vanilla like cracker type of cookies, and then you can just dip it in there and like, or like.
We like the chocolate animal crackers.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Nice, dunk them in there. So good.
Nice.
And Jess's monster cookies.
Mm-hmm.
We still need to make you some of those.
Yeah, you do.
Yes,
They're so good.
it's been
Want all of
discussed.
it. Yes. We got to do. So my
I've written a note to myself in the chocolate flakes here about it.
yes. Yeah. So desserts that we don't share with people are like the cobblers, fruit cobblers and stuff. Like, 'cause that's my jam. That's what I like. That's mine. But Stephanie's really good about just experimenting, just trying different weird desserts, and just she loves candy. It's like she loves making candy and sharing candy. The last thing she made was this s'mores bar, and it's basically, if you picture Rice Krispie treats without the Rice Krispies.
Another one.
So like the marshmallow, like whatever you do to marshmallows to get the Rice Krispies to stick. I don't know what you put in it. Butter, marshmallows, stuff like that.
I failed that part in home ec.
I
burned it.
So it's a graham cracker layer with a layer of that marshmallow goo, and then just melted chocolate on top of that. And let me tell you what, it was just awesome. Like there's something about that marshmallow goo. It was like, it sounds weird, but it's like rubbery, but in a good way.
Okay.
It's like kind of chewy, kind of rubbery is a bad word. It's more chewy.
Chewy,
But like a chewy marshmallow with that
The chocolate's-
crispy crunch and then that like melty chocolate. Oh my god!
So that would be like almost like a crazy cracker
really?
with fluff on it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Is what I'm picturing.
Which,
marshmallow
by the
fluff
way,
would be good.
We have to
Alternative.
have a check in on Colton about his marshmallow fluffs.
Has he
He's
tried
maybe
it
he's
yet?
hadn't tried it yet,
Yeah.
'cause
Well, when
Go
I
back
sent
and
when I
listen.
sent him that rice cake the other day with peanut butter and
He's like, I
fluff
should
on it.
try that. I'm
Yeah.
like, no,
Yes.
I'm absolutely. Go back and listen to the Fluffernutter
Oh my
episode.
gosh.
I don't remember what episode that was on, but it was
Literally had
Childhood episode.
Childhood.
Fluffernutters
Yeah.
recipe on the label.
So
yeah,
good.
it's on the fluff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that was a gluten
Peanut
free.
butter.
That was a gluten free jar.
Exactly.
Nice. Nice.
Oh,
Real quick,
Colton.
we're running low on time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about drink pairings for like 2 seconds here.
Okay.
Do you guys have like a standard? What do you drink with your dessert? Decaf coffee for me. If it's after a meal, decaf coffee with literally any dessert.
I think
Coffee
it's
pairs well.
I think
Move.
pairs well. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Coffee pairs well. I'm not.
So
I'm not a huge fan of cognac, but that's another fun one. I've
Yes.
had that before. I can't remember. What
With,
I had.
especially with chocolates.
Yeah, it was so good.
Mhm.
Yeah. I would say red wines with dark chocolates.
Ooh, I just so we so in Italy, this is something like one of the things that we did, and it's about this is a liquor pairing, but and I'm gonna butcher what this stuff is called, but basically what it is like we went to this farmhouse, and there's basically this family that just said, hey, yeah, come on, have your group tour, come and we'll make you guys lunch, and we'll just hang out on the farm, we'll walk you around the place or whatever. Well, so they do that, and they open up all their wines. Well, they break into their wines. And there's this thing that a lot of Italian families will do, and I can't remember the name of it. We have a bottle of it at home too, but this will be in the show notes, maybe, I don't know, or some write in what this stuff is called. But it's dessert wine basically. But it's basically like extremely aged wine that is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a little bit sweet.
Does it get sweeter as it ages?
It was like super sweet. Okay. Like it's got almost like a thicker. I'm sure if Frank's listening to this, he's like yelling the name of this stuff. Yeah. But like you take it like a shot, but you like they don't call them biscottis. There's no such thing as biscotti in Italy. It's a bread, but it's a biscotti. But you dip this in this wine and eat it, and it's this like addicting flavor profile of like bitter boozy type of flavors, but like sweet at the same time, and the cracker melts like a biscotti.
It sounds very
so
Catholic.
Good. But yeah, it's so good. But it was another like dessert pairing, kind of like
incredible.
a cognac-ishy wine.
Yeah, yeah.
thing. It was good.
I could see that for sure. I'd get into that.
I would say like obviously like again going back, can't have dairy, but milk and cookies, dude.
Obviously, when he said it at first, I was like
Milk and cookies,
but-
yeah.
Yes.
But I'd say decaf coffee, especially in the evenings.
Yeah, dude.
A good red.
I'd also argue that pretty much any bourbon might work as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a hard time finding like a dish
Or rum.
that would not work.
Or
Yeah, rum would be another good one.
Well, you got like dark, hard truce, toasted coconut rum.
Ooh, that's got too much sugar for me.
But it's like a good dessert. It's a good dessert finish.
Yeah.
It's a good dessert shop. It's like for me, it's like instant headache. Like there's so much sugar.
Put it in your coffee next time.
Oh, little Irish coffee. All right.
Except it's rum, so it's Jamaican or Haitian. I don't know. Good.
Who knows? Yes. Well, any last minute thoughts here before we sign off with the recipe?
Send us your favorites.
Oh my gosh, yes, please.
What did we miss?
So much.
Dude, listen, we could probably go a whole nother.
I know, but I
episode.
want to know what other people think.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us what we
did
missed.
we miss?
Ice cream.
Yeah.
Where do you land?
milkshake brings all the boys to
No, not this.
They probably.
All right.
do.
So today's recipe is a recipe that I do not have written down because we just kind of wing it every time.
Love it.
But it is, I don't know what to call it. It's like it's an ice cream cake, kind of. You could call it like a lasagna type thing, maybe like a dessert lasagna. We'll call it Oreo ice cream cake. So essentially, you're taking a stick of butter. You're going to melt that. You're going to pulverize, probably half a box of Oreos or an Oreo type cookie if you're not a brand fan. Pulverize it. We use a food processor. You could just use a Ziploc bag and a hammer if you got some aggression. Mix the butter with the Oreos to make your crust. And on top of that, you're going to put a thick layer of ice cream. So homemade ice cream, if you're going to do that, or just buy a box of ice cream. And pro tip, if you just slice it with a knife,
Mm-hmm.
it comes out like perfect every time. So layer of ice cream, layer of melted hot fudge, and that's just going to like, it's going to melt into the ice cream a little bit and just kind of like ooze around and like get kind of like craggly.
All in the crevices.
Yes. On top of that, here's where you get crazy. So you're going to put the other half of that bag of Oreos pulverized again. And then we love to do like Reese's. So we'll open up a ton of Reese's, not the minis, but just like a full size Reese that we just crumble up. I just crumble a bunch of Reese's on top of that. Oh my gosh. And if you're feeling extra fancy, like you can do another
How
drizzle
often
of
do you
hot
guys do
fudge.
this?
Not often.
Okay.
Not often enough. But it is so good.
It's awesome.
So once that's all put together, you're going to throw it back in the freezer and just let that hot fudge kind of solidify. And man, you take that out, cut it up, and it does not last long. But
That sounds phenomenal.
yes, we've done it with M&Ms and Reese Pieces, but kind of like the same thing. Anytime
You
you,
don't like
get
the hard candy part. Yeah.
anytime the candy gets cold, Reese's is like the exception. Like it never
it's still
it never
crumbly.
gets rock hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like M&Ms to me just get too hard.
See, we put our peanut M&Ms in the fridge.
No, can't do that.
The fridge or freezer?
Fridge.
Yeah.
Oh, the fridge might work, but yeah, the freezer no.
I put those chocolate covered cherries in the fridge as well. They're just better.
Yep.
M&M tip. M&M, if you're watching, your peanut M&Ms with jalapeno were the best thing I've ever had.
Did they take them away?
They don't make them anymore. I saw them for like a month at the store, and then they're gone. But spicy peanut
sounds good.
M&Ms.
Spicy and chocolate's good.
Their
freaking
mocha
good.
ones are phenomenal.
Starburst and Skittles did spicy versions too. That I
Well,
loved.
the
Holy crap, that was good.
Albanese did.
Did it spicy?
They did the what's that seasoning? The trejo or
I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Tahini.
Tahini.
They did tahini ones.
That'd be good.
They were trejo.
You sound so.
I'm so white.
You know how white you are. You pronounced every letter wrong.
They are amazing though. I
That
have
sounds
them.
so
They're
good.
Fantastic.
Love
Yes.
tahini. It's awesome.
Trejo. I'm such an idiot.
Trejo. All right, get us out of here, Corey. Please tell us all your desserty things.
My native heritage is so mad at me right now.
You got any of those tortillas?